Joyride, 1957, a novel of intrigue by J.P. Wasmiller. Chapter 121. James returned to his room at the Benson and found Delora dozing on the bed. He lay down next to her and slowly began to kiss her on the shoulder and caressed her back. Her breathing was very shallow but regular. He whispered to her, "Baby, you want to go out dancing, or shall we stay in and explore other possibilities? I could order some champagne, maybe some strawberries. What do you say?" She did not answer and just kept breathing slowly with her eyes closed. He tightened his arms a bit more around her, and soon exhaustion overtook him, along with a slight headache. First light began to filter through the window about 5 a.m., and James began to stir. He was still holding Laura and opened one eye to peer at the dim light of the window. He then looked over at the clock and rolled both eyes. He was still exhausted, and his headache had not gone away. In fact, it increased a bit. He pulled his hand away from Dolora's back and rubbed his aching forehead. He noticed his hand was sticky and looked at it. There was a sticky dark liquid on his fingers. Then he noticed something else. Delora was cold, very cold. He listened and could not hear anything. No, he could not hear her breathing either. He now realized things were not right at all. He shook Delora, but she did not move. He shook her again, then got up and turned on the light. He then looked at his hand and saw that the sticky liquid was blood. Not his blood, but Dolora's. She was not breathing or moving, and her face was blue. He felt sick. But he turned her over and then saw that she lay in a pool of blood. He saw a tear in her dress in the center of her back and tore her white dress open to examine her back. He swept away the drying blood and then was able to see it. There was a 2-inch slice just to the left of her mid-spine. No doubt a knife, he thought. But he saw no sign of a struggle and let her body roll back. He kissed her blue cold lips and whispered, "I'm sorry. I'll find out who did this." Tears filled his eyes, and he flashed back to the beach at Normandy, where he saw the same thing over and over. June 6, 1944. He and his army did find who had done that. He cleaned up the blood from off his arms and then quickly washed and put his bag together. He realized he now would be wanted for murder when Dolora's body was discovered. He sat on the bed, picked up the phone. The hotel operator did not answer. He tried several times, then grabbed his room key, went out the door, and locked it behind him. Pushed the elevator button, but it had not come for a bit. Finally, he ran down several flights and walked across the lobby to the front desk, where the clerk was seated in a chair, sound asleep. He yelled at him, and the startled clerk quickly stood and said, "Can I help you, sir?" "What room is Misty in?" he asked, half out of breath. He had seen her at supper that evening before.